map making program I bought recently called Wonderdraft. I will post the link of the site in the comment section of the video. You can find it here. Here is Wonderdraft site, where you have also videos. Excuse me. We have videos showing you how Wonderdraft works. Look how beautiful the program is. You have thousands of options. The only difference with Incarnate, of course, is this has is a paid program. Look at the options you have. We'll discuss this later. But it's a one-off payment. Incarnate has, of course, the advantage of having a free option, but it's an online program. You're not purchasing it once off. You have to pay, once a year or every month. So this video of showing the options. You can find it on the internet. A lot of stuff. You can buy it now. There's performance requirements for Apple. For you have PayPal with card. I think it's $28 if I'm not mistaken. I think I bought it 19, but a friend of mine told me it's 20 now, and I'm not sure. So let us go here to the menu and open a new. So the width and the height is what we want. This is the pixels we want. The template, of course, full HD, and the theme is pastel. You have many themes. We will see them during the small presentation, but I use pastel because I like how the sea looks. So how we can start? We can go ground color brush to paint the ground on this canvas. We can here decide the brush size, and we can start painting. We can use also this landmark brush, and here we can paint. So let's see, sure, this is a bit crude, but we will fix it, and then we can increase the size of the brush, so we can finish quickly. This is the style I told you, the pastel style. You see how the ground looks. You can have many styles, as many as you want. Now, how can we fix a seashore, as we did with Incarnate, to look more realistic? So we can use lower landmass tool. That means the land brush size will be lower, and the roughness, it's up to us. And this would, you see, on its own, because we're lowering it, basically we're adding sea on its own. It's creating also some types of ponds. You can make it more realistic. You can raise landmark, and that would create, but also will create a bit more. Let's make the brush size bigger. You see, it makes it more rough. You adding landmass, but at the same time, you're making it more realistic. You can create small islands also here. This is a nice tool that can be used to make here I am. Sorry, to make the seashores more realistic here. So here I'm adding again. You see, with the roughness can be higher or lower, so the seashores would look, more rough, or will look a bit less rough. So you have this tool. It's very, very helpful tool. We can fix the seashores as you like. They look quite realistic. I mean, I haven't worked on them a lot, but they look quite realistic. So after this, what you can do, I mean, you have many options. You have to paint. You can erase. This is also, you can do patterns. There's here you can raise also. You see, I'm erasing, and this you can use as a tool, of course, if you want to fix. But this landmass raise or lower, it's a very nice tool, and you see how quickly and how beautiful you can make the area look rough and look like a proper seashore. Anyway, what we can do afterwards? Let's go to water. Let's go to water and start creating some types of um, let's make this seem more realistic. The coastline color, you can play around with the coastline color. You see, um, this you have the options of creating your own colors. I haven't been very familiar with this yet, but you see, the lighter you become here, the coastline color becomes more, uh, you know, lighter blue. If you want to use it, then it becomes darker. If you start deep, or you can play around with colors. You see here, and you can change as much as you like. So I like this type of color. I like it to being a bit lighter, but at the same time you can have a style here. You can have it irregular bend, so you can have it like this. You can go in uniform bend. It could be a different type of map. You can have an outline, uniform outline. You can have this three line, three tiered. This one is hatch button, and dash button is this one. This looks good too, but um, irregular looks nice to me. Or we can use um, three tier uniform. Yeah, that's not bad. You can play with these options, and you can fresh watercolor. You can change the French watercolor. So I don't think here we have anything green. No, at the moment. I don't know the options very well, but you see, there's hundreds of things you can do. So what you can do is, let's go to symbols. Water here, water. Sorry, I forgot water. In water, we can create a lot of things. First of all, we can fix river. Now, the river, you have options of making it wide, making it rough, or less rough, but also there's a minder distance. But here you have river source fade. So let's have a look here. What do we mean? The river starts, let's say, from the sea, and you see, you push the button, and then you can play around with the river location. It's a very, very nice program. Here it's finished. I make it green. Okay, this was obvious, obviously before. When I make fresh watercolor green, okay, that's a mistake. So you can play with the river color as well here. You would prefer to make it the same or a bit lighter than the sea, but here, for example, I can make the river like this. I can make the river like this. This is how the rivers would look. Okay, let's leave it this way. So you see, the source of the river is fades in. If I to do this off and I do another river, let's do another river here with the source here. You see, the source starts properly, properly starts without fading in. So this is a brilliant way to do a river. You can also do a lake tools. You can have the brush size of the lake tools could be small, or the lake tools could be or could be a bit bigger. So we can have some type of lakes here or here, whatever you want to create. And you can have details. That means more details. You see, the lakes would be more less uniform and more complicated. This freshwater brush, this, I tell you the truth, I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, yes. You can make freshwater, so you can create small kind of ponds here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Here you have undo if you don't like what you've done. So this freshwater, I haven't used it before. Of course, this eraser, you can paint also. Um, you see how beautiful the river looks. And then you can go to land. We did it, sorry. You can go to symbols, for example. Symbols, you have thousands, hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many types of symbols here. You have bridges. You can have it black and white or with a color. So for example, let's take a bridge and put it here. Depends, you see, the bridge is big, or the size of the map you want to create. You want to go into detail, or you can have a bigger map, like a campaign map I'm trying to do. So we we reduce the size. So here you can put nice nice bridge, but you can use also this type of bridge that's black and white. See how many types of bridges you have. Dragons, horses, if you want to do fantasy, and here is the exciting stuff for historical. You have brilliant keeps. You can make them big or small. I will make them bigger now so you can see them. And you can put it in locations where you think that you're going to have a keep, or you're going to have your city, or depending if this is a big city. Maybe you can use the smaller for villages here. Lots of options, lots of options. Of course, you can do custom colors and change the colors for these. a keep. I'm making them big, guys, so you can see how many beautiful options you have. A smaller town with a church. Um, Same here. Or you can if you go into detail, you can combine. So, for example, you have the city here, the keep, and you have here the village. And let's put another village here. Of course, you have 2D also. Um, so you would get some variety here. You can have the village here, for example. Um, so you can create these beautiful, beautiful cities and towns. If you want to go into more detail, you're making a campaign. You have cultivated areas where maybe you will put, you know, um, yeah, of course this you can turn. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can make it this bigger and smaller. Um, you have cultivated areas where you can decide that you can put, this cultivated ground with a lot. You see a lot of options. All these can be smaller and bigger, of course. Huh? What else you have here? Other small cities. This is again scattered villages. Very beautiful. Well, this is a bigger village. That's very nice. I mean, you have to make it smaller, of course, and if you're going to, if you're playing, for a closer map, you can make it bigger. And again, you have all these in black and white also. Other types of towns and cities and castles. Um, you can see here you have also black and white features that you can use for maps. Here is the villages again, black and white. I've used black and white in my um, in my 100 Years War map. Look at the many options you have. It goes and goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. So let's say you do this. I mean, it's a bit of a mess, and then you go to the trees. Now, see, you can have, as I said to you, black and white trees. Let's make them a bit smaller, or you can have colored trees. So you can you can play out with the placement rate or the placement density up and down. You can have many types of different trees. I like the black and white map, but I like also the colored map. These are very small. Fix the colored map. Bigger, so you can have a colored map. I like this. These trees I like a lot, and you can create uh, big um, woods that would play part in your campaign, or if you're following a historical campaign, or if you're following um, making a fantasy campaign. It's very easy to make, and you can have many types of trees. I mean, look at the types of trees you have. I mean, you can have, if you like black and white, as I said, you can do this. Look how beautiful this is. For smaller, if you like color ones, you have this. I prefer color ones because my map is quite the style I'm using, the pastel. It's quite with no color, so I think colored ones give you an idea. Make the map look good. Here you go to the mountains. Another huge number of mountains, and huge number if you see here on the left, on the right. You can play again with placement rate, symbol, placement density, all they have. So you have here, these are very beautiful. I usually work with the white ones. These are very big, and I'll tell you why. They look really good, if you see. Um, you have too many choices. I'm just showing to you now, and you can put some if you want in a smaller scale. You can put some. It's up to you. Maybe you can put over the mountains some. You want to show that it's foggy, the area is foggy, or you want to show that the mountains are very high. I don't know. So you can use. You see here. I think I like the black and whites a lot, although the color ones are not bad. But what you can do is you can go to land, and you can go to painting, and you can choose this, and you can minimize the brass. And here, for example, you can give them colors, different colors, not necessarily paint them all. You see, you can paint some of them and leave the others as they are. So I like this. It's not bad. Here also you can paint if you want in between the mountains, the woods, so they will look green. So you give a color to your map, and you make it more interesting. Now my map is really a mess because I've been doing things randomly. But look, even the way it's a mess, look how it's turning to be quite okay. And you can give other colors as well to the mountains. Here, you see, I mean, if you have time and you're in a good, you can play with the mountains and give them different colors. That's why I'm telling you the black and white ones are give you more options, although the colored ones look quite nice. So let's say you finish, you have the cultivated areas, you have your cities, and then you go to symbols. Nice symbols is that we finished almost everything. This is symbols. Move to okay, you move the symbols with this. There's many options you can do. You will find them out. They're quite easy. Then you go to labels. That's very nice. Labels, you have many options: font color, font type, outline color. You can play a lot with this. And you can go to the city. Here you have the label. You can move the label wherever you want, and you can name it. I don't know, London. But at the same time, you can play with the size. You can make it bigger. You can play with the curvature. You see, you can have it like this London. You can have outline width, so it could be 6. So it could be bigger. What is it? Here. Very nice. You see the outline width is changing. You can play with the fonts. And this is a city or a town. So if it's a town, it becomes smaller. If it's a city, it becomes bigger. You see, so you don't have to play. If it's terrain, it's even bigger because what is this? I don't know. So depending on what you're using it for, the game will give it to you. So if it's a city, it will be London like this. Now, if it's a town, it will be smaller. If it's a water, it will be like this. You see, so you have it here. That's very good. Actually, I found it. And then if it is terrain, if it's mountains, for example, you will have it bigger. So it's a city, London. So it's this size. So you can play around a lot. You have a lot of options with the city names and the mountain names and terrain names and everything. Now, paths. This is the one I like very much. Paths. Go here and where it's path tool. Take you across the path tool and look at the different types of paths you have. Let's press this one. You have to decide a color. You can do any type of color you want. I will leave it as it is now. The width of the path, the roughness, and you start. You want to have a path. You press the button and it turns, and you can use it every time. You can create a path. Maybe this is will be the main road of the area you want to build. Every time you press the mouse button, this turns, and stops. Of course, this path could be now. You can if you have making historical map, or if you're interested in going to detail, you can make provinces. So you can use this tool. It looks like a border. So this province can be. This is one province. Maybe you can use this if you want. You can use this for province. You have many options, but this will be bigger also. You can make the width bigger. You see, it's up to you really how the province will look, and if this would be a province or you want to use this type. There's so many tools where you can create provinces or roads. I believe the best road tool is this one, but you can do so. You have so many options and so many. You can change it to I don't know, a dirt road. Maybe it will look more yellowish here. So if yes, it doesn't suit that well, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You see, not that bad. Maybe it would have been better to have it a bit more brownish, like this. You have many options to um, to work, and colors. As I said, you can paint a lot. I mean, it's a quite easy system, and that you can make beautiful maps. And now you go to the overlay. You have measuring tools. You have kilometers. You can show the distance. I mean, if this is 1 kilometer, I can imagine, or it will tell you the distance, segment distance. Segment distance is here. Okay, so it has a miles, so you can change it in kilometers if you want. Um, it's quite interesting. Barrow, condensed, bilbo. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't know what this is exactly. Width and height. This is the segments that you're using. Line width, colors. I think this is so you can create. You can have frames also. I can imagine. Frame tool. That's nice. You can frame your map. In the end, probably. But the one I'm interested in is, of course, so you can play with distances here. Um, and the kilometers on this. You have play around with this, but I haven't really looked into this. But then you have the pattern, so you can have square. And of course, the size of the square can be smaller or bigger. It's up to you, and the line can be stronger or lighter, as I like mostly. You have flat hex, and this is my favorite. The size again, depending on the map you see, you can have a hex in the city, or you can go smaller, usually if it's a map that it's a campaign map, or bigger. It's up to you how you play the game. And you have pointed hex. This is another one that I like. So basically, you have your movement hexes or squares. You can have your roads. You can have your valleys. You can have names. You can create a really incredible map with this game. With this, excuse me, with this map creator. Because I'm making my Chevauché campaign, excuse me, gentlemen, my Chevauché campaign, I bought this tool. It's a brilliant tool. It doesn't cost that much for one-off. It's yours then, and if you utilize it, I mean, for us war gamers, what we're missing, what we're saying on all our chats and talking to each other, what we're complaining that I need to find a good campaign map. I need to do some battles that have substance, that have meaning, that have continuity. But here is the tool. You have this thing. You can create beautiful, beautiful um, ancient, medieval, Napoleonic maps. You can really do anything you want, really. And you can have campaigns with your miniatures, or the 15 or 28 or 20 or smaller ones, and you can very easily create rules. I have the ones I won't be using my mind, and I'm going to have a video showing my campaign rules that actually I created initially with my friend Ian. So I'm gonna show them to you in one of my next videos, so you can get some ideas. Moving two hexes, depending on what size here, the kilometer, how big the hex would be, the segment. This actually would be very interesting. I need to investigate this. I'm not sure what the segment is and line of width is. I'm a bit confused. The segment distance and unit label is miles. It's quite interesting. Okay, 185. Here you measure something here. See, it's very sophisticated. This I need to find out what's happening. So it's a perfect tool for you to do campaigns. Then you print them, you save it, you can import it, you can print it, you can do anything you want, and you can have a beautiful, beautiful map. You can put it on the wall, and you can do your movement there. You can play your battles on your terrain, your sieges, everything. I think it's worth buying. It's not very expensive. I think it was $20. Somebody told me it's 28. I'm not sure. Check out the site. It's yours, but it's most importantly, um, it's very easy to use. You can make beautiful battles, and you can utilize. You can enjoy our hobby by creating campaigns that everybody likes. We like campaigns because the game has more. The battles have more substance than one-off battles. Anyway, guys, thank you for much watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for following my Poitiers campaign. I finished now all the Claymore castings, 333, and all the mounted commands and part of the heroes. Um, I'm currently preparing with my brother the terrain. It looks, hopefully will look good. We're working on it. We're just now using the modeling plaster, and we're fixing the hedges and everything, and the elevated position and the English defenses, everything. So hopefully by the next couple of months we'll be ready. And then the daunting task of rebasing another 600 miniatures, because the battle's going to be big. It's not only Claymore enough, the 330 minis for the battle. Another around 500-600 miniatures of my old impetus armies. They are the miniatures are Wargames Foundry, Black Tree Design, Claymore, some front rank, and Essex. All these are perfect for the era. They're exactly the same size and the same type as Claymore. Are chainmail and partial plate armor are exactly for the early 100 Years' War. These are going to be based in 40 by 40 bases, and of course some extra longbowmen, and hopefully by April, May, I believe, April, May, I will be ready to host the battle and fight it online with my friend Ian. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye-bye.